Okay, I think you're going to find today's story pretty interesting. At least I do, but it's my story, so why shouldn't I? I used to teach, first I graduated from Columbia University Graduate School of Journalism. That's a big name. I mean, Columbia University, it's got some, I guess, got some traction. Anyway, I graduated from there, and then a couple of years later, I started to teach at Columbia, and I like teaching at Columbia a lot. I like to teach, and I get great satisfaction from it. Anyway, I taught at Columbia for about 8 years, and then I got thrown out of Columbia by the dean, Joan Connor, because I ended up marrying one of my students. It's a graduate school, but even so, I get divorced a couple of years later, so that's a mistake, kids. Don't marry your students. Anyway, after that, I was kind of rooting around. I got a call from NYU. I didn't know anybody at NYU. I didn't know anything about it, but I got a call from Marcia Rock, and who ran the film and television journalism thing over there. And she said, would you like to teach a course here? She said, one of our faculty members died, and there's a course starting on Tuesday, and we need somebody. And I said, sure, why not? So she invited me over, and I picked up immediately. I mean, it was like the next day. And I went in, and there were like 13 students in the class, and it was called Television and the Information Revolution, which struck me as kind of a dumb title. And it was, I looked at the curriculum, and it was absolutely appalling. It was, they had a book called The Golden Tube of Plenty, or Tube of Plenty or something. And, it was all about, I remember when Walter Cronkite, I mean, it was terribly archaic and had nothing to do with the industry anymore. I mean, if it was 1952, it would probably be cutting edge. Anyway, so, I threw out the curriculum and I started to do my own stuff. And, over the years, it got more and more popular. And I was there for about 8 years. And in my 8th year of teaching, it actually had 350 students in the class. And it was so popular that it ran in one of these giant things in the physics building where you sat down in the middle of this giant bowl of students up above. But I liked it. I had fun. And I think the students kind of liked it. And then, they threw me out. But they threw me out for a reason, because I used to start every year by telling the students to go walk out of the classroom, go to the bursar's office, get their money back, and go and buy a camera. And I said, I can teach you how to do this in 4 days. You don't need to spend 4 years here learning how to make television and films and videos. Any idiot can learn how to do this, and you're wasting your time and your money. Now, I went online today just out of curiosity to look at the NYU thing, and I think tuition's like $68,000, but that doesn't even include, living expenses, stuff like that. And they at least have the integrity and the honesty to say online that the estimated cost per year is $93,000. This is incomprehensible to me. $93,000 a year to go to school, film school, and let's be honest, how many people there are going to go to Hollywood and be directors and make that kind of money back? So the whole system it bankrupts students who take out student loans that, by the way, you can never get out of. You can't even declare bankruptcy. It bankrupts their parents. It's it's unconscionable. $93,000 or $68,000 or whatever it is to learn essentially what it takes about 3 or 4 days to wrap your head around, and after that it's just a matter of practice. So I used to tell all the students when we started, I said, get out of here. You're wasting your time and you're wasting your money, and if you go buy a camera and a plane ticket, and then come back and see me, and I will teach you how to do this in 4 days. And, of course, this made the faculty endlessly annoyed, and so, ultimately they threw me out, which is fine. I don't really care. I mean, I like teaching, but I don't really care. So instead, I thought, screw them, I'm going to do this myself. So that's why we launched, I've been running these boot camps for years, but that's why we launched this online, video and film school, thevj.com, which I urge you to go and visit. But the whole idea was to take all this crap and to stop wasting money. Now, it seems to me the whole university system is ripe for a disruptive event. The way Uber came and disrupted taxi business, and the way Amazon came and disrupted pretty much everything else. The university business today, it's a business first. It's absolutely, positively unconscionable, the idea that you would charge somebody $68,000 and really look at $93,000 for a year for 4 years. For crying out loud, that's like $300,000 down the drain in post-tax money that your parents have to put out, or you borrow from a bank and spend the rest of your life repaying or not repaying. It cripples people forever, and it's a crazy and unnecessary thing to do. I saw it today online on Facebook, where I spend a lot of time. Probably Lisa says I waste all of my time, but I happen to like it. So I saw on Facebook today that Frank Gehry, the architect, is offering online master classes, learn how to be a great architect, for $90 to sign up for his 8, and it's all on video, which I think is kind of cool anyway. So this whole notion of online giving competition for and replacing traditional university, I think this is going to happen, and I think it should happen, because teaching, I mean, learning and teaching is one of the great things in the world. I love to teach, and one day I'll tell you a great story about how I got into the SAT review business, and kind of a surprise. I don't want to end it here. I don't want to tell it to you here. I'll save this for another day. But I've always liked teaching, and I like the idea of stimulating people and you know, new minds and opening them up to new ideas. But the idea that you would have to go and pay, essentially, let's not say pay, let's say you have to bankrupt yourself or bankrupt your parents or bankrupt your family to get a university education and a degree, particularly in a trade like video making or film making or architecture. I don't know anything about it, but I guess Frank Gehry feels the same way. It's unconscionable. And with the internet and video, it's totally unnecessary. So, you know, I mean, I liked NYU. They're very nice people, but, you know, screw them. If they don't want me there, I'll do my own school, and we'll see how it all goes. I don't think I'll give them that much competition, but someone will. And, you know, at least I'm getting a start. Anyway, that's the wrap for today. Go check out thevj.com if you want to go to film school, if you have a kid that wants to go to film school, if you have a friend who wants to go to film school. It's much better than going broke and spending the rest of your life as a barista trying to pay back these ridiculous loans. And that's all I got to say for today. I hope I'll be back later. Bye.